Hello everybody, Handy863 here bringing you another video today, and once again it is another overall channel view special video. Indeed, I have reached 3 million views overall on my YouTube channel, and in way much less time than I ever thought I would reach or gain a million. It's mind-blowing, to be fair. Like, it was only February of this year, I believe the 6th of February this year, that I reached 2 million views, and I reached 3 million as of yesterday. It was a weekend, so my family were about, and I didn't want them to sort of be seen in this video, so I'm recording it a day later, on the 26th of June 2018, which is indeed actually a year since my final performance for college. So I've technically been out of college for a year during this time, and haven't really had much going on since that. So it's really nice to know that at least something in my life is going well. And I would probably stand here in a room that nobody has seen that much in my videos at all. In fact, it's literally been shown in one other vlog video on my channel. And I would stand here and thank everybody like I did in my 2 million view video. But that'll take quite a while. Sometimes looking back at it, I find it kind of cringy. And well, I don't look the best, and I would basically just be saying the same thing. So thank you to everyone who I mentioned in that video, and thank you to everyone who just watches it. I really appreciate it. At the end of the day, it's really something that I didn't think would be happening. I know it's quite weird for a YouTuber or someone who has a YouTube channel of any sort to take pride in the amount of views they get. It's more or less a subscriber thing to be more passionate about, but for me it's the views, because subscribing is more or less an option for the person who enjoys your content to just use so that they can catch it more often, which, because my content's so varied a lot of the time, it doesn't make sense for most people to subscribe unless they want to see Mario Kart or some music. I don't know why that never mind. And yeah, it's basically just an option for the user, whereas a view is just a view. Even if you only watch the video once, it supports somebody, and that's the money maker in the game as well. So yeah, and things have kind of changed quite a bit since then as well. Whereas in my 2 million view special, where I had only one video in the 100,000 region, I now have 6 of them, including this video here, which didn't even have 100,000 views, or anywhere in the top 10, I don't think, at the time that my channel reached 2 million views. It's now got double the number that I think my How to Play 3DS tutorial had when I recorded the last special. This has now also surpassed that with 171,000, and there's that as well. The Wii Fit You videos, by prediction, have also got 100,000 as well. And of course, surprisingly enough, this video, Tightrope Tension, which is one of the oldest videos up here as well, actually. I recorded that 5 years ago. So I was, I think, 14, 15 when I made that. To reach that sort of number would have been absolutely mind-blowing. Oh, it's just an advert. It would just be absolutely mind-blowing for me at the time. And so yeah, to just have that there, it's kind of astonishing. It only recently grew to popularity because it used to be deemed as Handy's We Play. As you can see, you got the original description for that series. It was basically just a series based on me rather than the actual games itself. So it's kind of interesting to think that as soon as I decided to change the name back to its original game and mini game that was on here, it actually grew up so much more than it did. This game as well used to be one of my favourites on Wii Fit, if anything, my actual favourite. And I remember before I was even recording, it took me absolutely ages to complete this game and all of the levels for it. I don't do very well, first of all, I believe, in this recording, because it had been a while since I had played. But I think I do make it across eventually. Anyway, so in this video, I'm actually going to do something where I'm going to show 3 faces that aren't usually shown in my YouTube videos, including 2 incredibly new ones that haven't even been shown at all. And that is my pet rabbits. So as you might remember, my rabbit Corey, who's this one here on the right, he's actually been shown in a couple of videos and would be 4 this year if he was still around. So he was even, as you saw earlier, in this video here, which I screenshotted. Putting Corey the rabbit to bed. It's about 3 years old now. But the sad thing is, unfortunately, Corey passed away in December of last year, not too long after my birthday. A lot of people on my Discord server would know this. The sad truth is he had kidney failure, which is quite common in rabbits, and at that point there is nothing that could have really been done about that, which is sad. So unfortunately he had to be put to sleep. And yeah, so he's no longer going to be around. But Corey, although Corey is gone, we did get 2 more rabbits. So as you can see here is Blue, who was Corey's companion. And we basically, after Corey passed away, we decided to try and look for some more companions for Blue to have. And we indeed found 2 other rabbits. So first of all, we'll introduce you to the one that's in here. This is Flopsy. She's 2 years old, I believe. And we got her about 2 or 3 months ago. Hold on. So she's a lop-eared rabbit, which means that both of her ears are down. And Corey was a lionhead, which means he had more fur around this part of his head here. But he also had one ear up this way and one ear down, because his parent rabbit, supposedly, one had 2 pointy ears and one had 2 dangly ears. So she's a female, and she's the one that really enjoys having attention, but she can also be a little bit ratty. At the moment she seems to be enjoying me here, but sometimes if she doesn't want to be seen, she would actually squeak and go to bite. But at the moment she is quite peaceful. And I think that's just because she hasn't been out today. You'll notice that she's in here, whereas the other 2 are not here at the moment. And that is because, if you observe this side of her head, and you probably saw it earlier, which she moved now, she actually only has 1 eye. And this is something that happened a couple of weeks back, where she sadly lost her eye in either a fight or an accident caused by the other rabbit that she was paired with, that we have outside. I remember it quite clearly, and it was quite sad as well, to be fair. My mum just spotted that her eye was bleeding, and she went outside to go and get her, and I was sat in the front room playing Mario Kart off my main TV, off the living room TV, and she brought her up to me, and I turned and just saw her, and it was really kind of upsetting. So she lost the eye, and in order to prevent any further injuries to this area, so we kept her away from the other rabbit that she was paired with, and or bonded with, I should say, actually, just in case they might have, she might have undone the stitching or caused pain to her. And and unfortunately in that time their bond seemed to have run off. And whenever we tried to reintroduce them to each other now, they just kind of fight, really, which is sad. Hopefully we can reintroduce them to each other, but for now they are currently separated. This is also quite a huge blind spot. She's blinded from all the way around here to about here. So she's incredibly wary, or definitely a bit more skittish than she used to be, as expected if you were to lose an eye. That ruins so much of your vision, like it has to her. So she doesn't go outside that much, and when she does, we have to keep a very close eye on her to make sure that she doesn't get hurt or anything. So she tends to come out in the garage, actually. If I move away now, she might jump out of the cage, she might not. We'll see what she wants to do. This is her space down here on the floor of the garage. She seems to be... No, here we go. There we are. She would usually come up to your feet like that, actually. So she's in the mood to see people. I would assume that she is hungry at the moment. So if I actually walk over here, she will follow. She went underneath all the cages. It's the same as if I walk over here. Oh, she's not even interested. Hey! Nope, she's gone to the toilet. Okay. Wow, I can't whistle very well. I apologise. No. Maybe if I rattle these. Nope, she's busy. Okay. Well, I've spent a long time just filming that crappy corner of our garage, so I'm just going to move on to outside. To try and not get any of these in shot. Oh, terrible. The bad thing is, I didn't and haven't charged the battery on my camera for ages, so I'm actually hauling my laptop around as a portable camera charger. I have to make sure she doesn't follow me out. It'll be okay if she does. This is garden. Has been shown in videos before. It's been messier than this. And we have our first hutch, which used to be on the grass up until recently. So, in here we have Blue. And Blue's the absolute sweetheart of the rabbit world. She tends to just show affection by licking. She keeps her hutch relatively tidy, hutch and cage, in comparison to the others. There's some of these patches on the floor which she has cleared so that she can lay down on the metal, as it's quite warm here recently. And she is an absolute sweetheart. She doesn't bite. She likes being held and stroked. And yeah, she's just very pleasant to have. Probably my favourite out of all. Like I said earlier, she was the one who was paired with Corey, but unfortunately she has been alone since Corey passed in December. These other two rabbits were got as an aim to try and be paired up with her, but unfortunately things haven't worked out, and I say she was actually quite a sweetheart. She is to people, but to the other two rabbits she's very aggressive and just tries to attack them most of the time, which is kind of ironic now I think about it, from what I've said earlier. But yeah, this is her hutch. It used to be hers and Corey's, funnily enough. And it actually used to be over here, where these fences were. and bricks were. You can kind of see the space where it used to be, and we had these things on the floor to stand on the grass when it got muddy. But as a matter of fact, there was actually a wasp's nest discovered underneath the hutch recently, which we had to get removed, because as there's sawdust contained within the hutches themselves, it made it a lot easier for the wasps to chew up this stuff and make a nest out of it, and so they just did that, and they just did it underneath the hutch there. And so yeah, we had to completely move it and had someone in to get rid of the nest and just spray down here, which is why this is all fenced off, just so we make sure that the rabbits do not go anywhere near it. There is another hutch here, and this was Flopsy's, and this is our third rabbit, which is Violet. She is the youngest of the lot, and she was the one who was paired with Flopsy before her accident, and is supposedly the one who caused it, but we do not know if it was intentional or not. She's also the largest. She's around about the same size that Corey was, but is a lot thinner. She's the one who likes being stroked the most, but she's also the shyest out of the lot. So she doesn't lick, and when we first got her, she would tend to nip a lot, but she doesn't seem to bite, or at least hasn't for a while, to me anyways. So she does enjoy this. The thing I like specifically about her is her eyes. They're really nice eyes. I really like that. And her fur is so soft. It's so thin and fine. It's quite unnatural when you first feel it. So I believe the type of rabbit she is called a Rex. A type of rabbit that comes from France. I believe Flopsy's kind of rabbit comes from Holland, or the Netherlands. So she's Dutch, and Blue is a British cross. So there we go, we've got quite the types here. Corey's kind would have also come from Holland as well, so he was also Dutch. And yes, she seems quite relaxed at the moment. There's actually a bottle here which is usually put in the fridge for her to lay next to keep her nice and cool. It is not cool at the moment. As a matter of fact, I actually have to bring them in at about noon to 1 PM today, because it's going to be too warm for them outside. So they're all going to be back inside in the garage, which is the coolest place to be in the house for them. So let's go and take a little walk around the garden, shall we? It's weird how I'm hauling this around. It must look very strange. I actually did see, there was a hedgehog wandering around here. We do have one that comes across every now and then, who comes down here. And he was actually walking down here by this crate thing earlier. I've actually got a little sparrow. I didn't see it in time. Blackbird too. Got some nice bird varieties here. Not as many as previous years, but it's quite nice. So yeah, while I was filming that video, I could see out the window this hedgehog down here. And he's usually around here somewhere, but I think he's either hidden or just gone next door. I keep hearing a lot of noises from the other side of the garden. Ooh, that's a juvenile blackbird, I think. Don't know if it could fly, it was hiding from me there. It's probably best to leave this area so that I don't scare the parents off, although I don't think blackbird parents tend to be that scared by human presence. I can't see him today, so unfortunately he is not here. Yeah, this is a nice looking flower bed, this buddleia here. Hopefully that will grow soon. I do enjoy having the buddleia here. I'm pretty sure I showed it in a video about a year ago or two. And yeah, So this is where I was kind of aiming on my route. I just went round there for a little bit of a walk. I have some of these dandelions, which is kind of interesting. We've got more blackbirds actually behind here. Can't see that very well. So this is what I was after, and this is actually what I'm going to give to the rabbits. These dandelions are a little weird because you have multiple stems coming off of this main stem here. Which is kind of interesting. You really don't see that very often. I'm going to try and go for the ones with a bit less on them, so that the ones that haven't flowered yet, can flower a little bit more first. So I try and pick them off in a way that won't harm the plant too much. I also don't know if the specific kind of dandelion is good for rabbits, but I gave it to them yesterday and they seem to be fine. Alright. Hold these weirdly now. Jesus, I let this rest in the sun for 5 minutes and it's already ridiculously warm. So there we go. Violet really enjoys food, so she deserves to have the largest flower, which I think is either this one or this one. This one probably. So she'll munch this down really quickly. Yeah, that's too bad, this cable's in the way. Not as quickly as before. I really like hearing that munching sound for some reason. Right. Now we'll go to Blue. Now Blue's probably the complete opposite when it comes to food. She doesn't like eating that much. I think she's used to Corey hogging all the food. Corey was a bit of a foodie as well. She seems to be interested. So I will give her the smallest. See if she eats it. Yeah, there we go. It takes a very long time to eat. Ah, that took you a while. Must be a new personal best. She's still chewing. Okay. And now, to go back inside and give the final one to Flopsy. Very awkward. No. There she is. So she's underneath the bikes, which is probably the best place for her to hide when she doesn't want to be seen. And here we go. Let's see. Not interested. Oh, maybe. There we go. She keeps dropping it. Yeah. She seems a little bit more tired now, so I'd assume she's in one of those moods where if I poked her in the side, she would probably squeak at me and try and bite my hand. That's usually the place I would find out where she... There we go. Sorry little girl. I think I actually just poked her in the eye. I didn't mean to do that. Made me jump, it made both of us jump. This is mostly the place that I'd find her where she just squeaks and wants to be left alone. So, yeah. There you go. And she's not following me either. Which is the interesting part. That's all I had to show, rabbit-wise. Back to blue for the ending, I think. So yeah. So, once again, I must thank everybody for helping me reach this milestone, because of course I can't have done it. I wouldn't have been able to do it on my own. And it just goes to show how quickly these things can come around without you realising, I guess. Right, that is me done. Thank you for watching. I hope it wasn't too tedious in some areas. And I shall see you again later. Goodbye.